Welcome to Monty's. I'm Director Monique, and today we are touring our solar system classroom, which is one of our primary classrooms on campus. So here we have some of our children's artwork framed in the classroom, just because, it brings a homey feel to the classroom, and it also gives them a sense of pride that they've worked hard to add some decor to their environment that they spend a lot of time in. All the children have their own cubby, so they are free to bring what they need for the day. That usually looks like a lunch and a water bottle, maybe some spare clothes. If they are potty training, they would have some diapers and some wipes as well. We do have a balance beam in our classroom here, so the kids can work on balancing, they can work on walking backwards, on standing on one foot, different activities like that. We have our practical life in this area here. So when we come to this area, we can do many different things. We can work on our spooning of beans and transferring from one bowl to the next. We may have some pouring work where we have multicolored water. We may spoon bigger things or use tongs to transfer objects. Other things you might find in this area would be dressing frames. And so this will help our children dress themselves, which makes life a little bit easier for everybody in the morning because now they want to be independent. This also can help with tying their shoes, tying bows, different things like that. We also have a teacher space over on this side where we can work on our letters. As you can see, we don't do normal ABCs, but we will teach letters in a SMAT format first. Then we can read words such as mat or sat, little words like that, which will help build reading confidence, versus ABCs where we don't get a lot of words in those first three letters. This table is one of the tables that we use for a large group activity. So you can see we do have some children here this morning who have already started work. On this side of the classroom, we have our sensorial area. And so when we come to this area, you may find our knob cylinders. You will find some geometric solids. So a lot of our students may say, I know that's a square, but really it's a cube. So this is what we use this for, is to help them learn what the geometric solids are and to learn different vocabulary words. We also have different trays where they can also explore their geometric shapes. We have some touch boards so they can practice smooth and rough and just get different textures in mind. It helps with their vocabulary, it helps with, just sensory and being able to describe things, really. We have our brown stairs, we have some color work, we have smelling bottles, just a lot of different things. We have fabric matching that the children can do. Again, this will help them to learn if something is plaid, if something is a paisley print, if something is felt, velvet, things like that a lot of us don't think of to teach children. On this side, we have our math area. And here you will find, just some simple things. So our compartments that we use, and these ones are the spindle boxes. And so this is for one-to-one correspondence. We learn 0 is nothing. We learn 1 has 1 spindle. We also have our bead frame, so that way they can put their number onto the frame. We have our golden beadwork here, so this will help them to learn what quantities look like. So here we have our thousands cube, we have our 100 square. So this is really cool work for a lot of them because they like to see that their 10 can turn into more and what that looks like. Then we have again here our larger frame. So we then would teach what the quantity looks like in the number. So we have 10, 1. And so we wouldn't just say 11, we would say what the quantity is, which is 10 and 1. We would have 10 and 2. We also have our 100 board here, so the children can practice putting their numbers in order from 1 through 100. We have our fraction circles here. our bead cabinet is set up here. So again, this is a huge help when we're teaching numbers and multiples and skip counting and things like that. On this side, we have our language. So this, in this area, you'll find many different things. So we do have this one set up for the season, and so you will see that we can do some word tracing here. We have some line tracing here. And so this is just to help them learn, again, more vocabulary as well as the different lines. So is it a straight line? Is it a curved line? Is it a zigzag line? Different things like that. We do also have our metal insets or geometric insets here. And that's one of our basic activities that we will use for writing practice as well as learning what those shapes are. We do have our Washika reading program here, which we also have in our garden classroom as well. This program is really neat because it does start with a photo of an object first. Then we also can read what that word is, and over time they learn, hey, this picture and that word, those are the same thing. Then we have the name card that will correspond with the picture card. Then each cabinet has the 7 drawers, which each have a book inside of the drawers as well. And in the book, it just has the same words they've already learned to read from pooling number 1. So now we've learned how to master a small book, and now they're going to be even more excited to read bigger books. So this is a really cool program. Then we just have some more things here. We have vocabulary cards, which are the nomenclature cards. So these ones are set up for farm animals, and that's going to be kind of like a matching game to help them gauge the different terms that they are using. This is our reading area here. We do have just floor cushions for them to be able to use if they would choose to sit on the floor to read, or they can go to their own table for some private reading time as well. And then on this side, we do have our movable alphabet, which is really neat. You will just find letters that you can actually manipulate around versus just having to write words. So this is great for children who are still struggling with their writing skills but have the ability to spell or to form words or spell their name. And we also have these cool little mats here. So we can do the letters on a line, and they would just place those out onto the mat depending on what word they are choosing to spell. And then here we have some botany. We do have some random plants throughout the classrooms just so they can do, leaf cleaning and care of a plant. How do we care for, something that's living in our environment? And then we also have the botany cabinet here as well. And this will just have a little control mat to go with it as well to help identify what it is that they are seeing. And then over on this side is our geography station. So we do have just a lot of flags up for them to be able to see and learn about. And then we have our continent boxes as well. We also have some of our land and water forms on the shelf, so that way they can learn what those are. And so in our continent boxes, you may just find what, the actual continent picture itself. You may have pictures of what people wear on those different continents, or books about things to do when you visit that continent. On this side of the classroom, we have some art set up. So we do have an easel with different pencils and crayons and glue and scissors and paintbrushes and things like that the kids can choose to use as they wish. And that's something that is incorporated into the curriculum, but it's also a free choice activity for the children. On this side, we do have our snack station set up. So the kids do use ceramic in this classroom for their snack versus plastic. We do want to teach different materials, so sometimes they may have glass, they may have ceramic, they may have plastic, and then we learn what's breakable, what's not breakable, and how to take care of the things in our environment. We also have some floor carpets here that the kids are free to grab if they choose to sit and do work on the floor versus at the table. This is where the children set up their snack for the morning. So again, we do already have children present for the day in this classroom, so they have already started their snack process with serving themselves. And then in the center of the room, we do have a carpet space as well where we gather for our class lessons together. There also are floor carpets that the kids could use as a matting for their workspace if they choose, again, flexible seating versus sitting at a table. Not all children want to sit in a rigid desk, so this is an alternative for them to have a little more movement in their day. And I think that about covers our solar room, so thanks for taking a peek.